strict people, I put in multiple routers. Excuse me. I put in one for communication, and that gives communication and the pastor and the treasurer access. The other one is for the membership. And then I gave access or access point for the Sabbath school rooms. The reason why is because I can come in here and I can turn it on and I can say, okay, I can limit how much bandwidth up and download speed I want to allow you to have on that access device. So now we're talking about splitting up the network. So we figure, okay, for communications comes Sabbath. All right. You're already competing with everybody in the community. Why do you have to compete with everybody in your church? No. You just put in another device and you say, okay, communication, if we have, let's say, 200 down, it was what, 200 down, 20 up? Okay. So download speed, I'm not worried about, but the 20 up, communication is going to take 10, period. So we have, or even 15. And I'm going to allow the church and everybody else 5 or 10, period. And so now during that worship time, you can change back to, or after the worship service, you can switch back to what you want. So I'm sorry, I know I have reached my time. I was trying to hustle as much as I want. I do apologize, Latasha, but I wanted to paint the picture of what real networking looks like and where we need to think, what we need to think about moving forward. So yeah, I'm really sorry, Kirk. I apologize. I don't want to infringe on your time, but I hope we learned something. I didn't have any time for any question to answer. However, you can get my contact information. I'll put it in the chat, and y'all can, text me, and I will, we can, hey, call me, schedule a meeting with your church or organization, and we'll sit down and I'll help you through the process. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Thank you, George. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation. And the good thing about the chat is when people ask questions, we have so many people in the room that can help answer some of the questions. So that helped out a lot. But we would like for you to put your contact information in there. Thank you for everything that you had to share. I think we all were jotting down a few notes, even not just for our churches, but even for our homes and how we use networking. So thank you for that. We appreciate that presentation. All right, everyone, we're going to pivot. We move right into the next presentation. We are live on Facebook and YouTube for this presentation. And the next presenter who's coming up, Kirk Nugent. He's been with us for the last 2 days. You know what he's going to ask you to do. He's going to ask you to turn on your camera. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a heads up. Start finding that button right now because he likes to talk to faces. Am I right, Kirk?
That's correct. Let's get those faces on. Let's. I'm trying to get my view right. But yes, we definitely I want to see your faces. I want to see your expressions. Definitely want to engage with you. I see Miguel's here. I see Ishmael, Natasha. I think, George, you just did a phenomenal job with that presentation, man. It did my heart well. Took me back to my networking, my IT days, man. Ubiquity is such a great platform. I could go further, but I'm going to leave it alone.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Well, of course, like I said, we won't revisit the bio again, but you're getting another question. You kind of have a record here. When you present every day, you get a new question. All right, let's see what we have for you. In there. I like this one. What would you sing at karaoke night?
It would be a Beres Hammond song. It would be a reggae song. Let me say it that way for those that don't know Beres Hammond. Yeah.
All right, we may have to have you in your presentation with that today. What do you think?
I don't know. We'll see.
All
Singing
right.
on Zoom is interesting.
All right, guys, I know you guys are excited. This is show and tell time. Kirk is going to turn the cameras around and let us see everything that he has going on. And we're looking forward to this. That's the plan. So that's why he wants to see your faces as you react to all this that you're going to see today. But Kirk, the time is yours. We look forward to seeing what you have to share with us.
Excellent. Well, I just want to say again, thank you everybody for the planning team, for the other presenters. This has just been phenomenal. truly, truly enjoyed these 3 days together, and looking to really have some fun here today. All right, so in this time frame, I'm going to try to take the first 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes or so to kind of run through some things. It's going to be fast, but I'm doing that purposefully because I want to have some time for you to ask some questions. Let's just bow our heads for a quick word of prayer. Father, thank you for your love, your grace, your mercies, for how you have watched over us, God, for how you have entrusted to us skills and talents to be used for your glory. We thank you for every person that's represented in the room. We thank you for their talents, for their calling, for their dedication and commitment to the cause of Christ. And we ask, God, that as we look at some of these tools, there's so many different things I want to show. But I want to make sure that we do it in the context that what we have, what you have provided for us, we want to use it for your glory. These things we ask in the mighty and powerful name of Jesus. Amen and amen. I'm seeing George's contact information in the chat, so make sure you get that. Let me see here. We got me go through my list. Let me see. Let me go my gallery view here. Okay, I see cameras are on. You guys, I tell you, it's like, man, by day three, everybody's got it. Moses, I see you there, man. All right, cool. Here is the question for the chat. Here's the question for the chat. What is the name of my show? Anybody know the name of my show? I see some people feverishly typing. How it all works. Now somebody Miguel put it with a O. No, not the O, Miguel. HIAW. All right, How It All Works. How It All Works is the name of the show. And we have been growing. David Hunt, I love it. David Hunt gave the name of the show that is currently running, which is Convos and Collabs. Thank you so much, David Hunt. So that's where we are. That's where you can find us. I'm going to show some of the stuff on screen. But yes, just want to make sure that you guys are with me in the digital room here. I'm looking at you. I know that looking at you means I'm not looking at my camera, but that's okay for right this second. I think it's gonna all come together here in just a second. So here's what I want to do. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna switch cameras real quick. Here's what I'm doing. So I want you to see. This is my FaceTime camera from my laptop. It's decent, right? Come on in the chat. What do you think? Does it look good? My laptop is raised up on a stand, and that allows me to have eyesight with my camera. It allows me to have my camera in my eye line. BT talked about this the other day. You want to avoid, somebody said decent, somebody said good, thank you. You want to avoid having your laptop on the desk in a way that you are looking down. You don't want to be looking down at people. You want to be looking directly at them. A lot of us are existing in these virtual spaces. You want to be looking directly at them. There's so many different things you can do with your webcam from your computer, right? And if you have a USB webcam, a Logitech, any of the Logitech are the ones that I recommend, but if you have a USB webcam, and those are the ones that has some extra software, and you want to make sure you look into the software, see what tweaks you can make, see how you can do some things to improve upon what it's currently showing. But the secret sauce for any camera is going to be your lighting. How have you set up your lighting? Patrick says, but it's a bad suit and tie. All right, listen, this is not a suit and tie. I got on the Apple, I'm thinking screen today. So here is my Sony A6000 with a Sigma 60mm lens. And so that's this lens. I want to put that in front of you here. Come on. There's the autofocus. Sigma 16mm lens, 1f1.4. That's the lens. And I want to tell you, just like we said a second ago, depending on your camera, the thing to be mindful of when you are going to switch to a DSLR is the lens. If you want to switch to a mirrorless camera or a full frame DSLR, you want to be mindful of the lens. What is that lens going to look like? You need to know what the size of your room is. You want to know what you want visible on camera. If you're a person that talks with your hands like I do, you want to make sure that when you do this, it's not outside of the shot. You get what I'm saying? So you want to frame those kinds of things up. You control what people see of you. So you want to be mindful of what's happening behind you. You want to be mindful of what's happening behind you. This entire square, as we like to say on the Friday night joint, own your square, right? So be mindful of that. How do you connect a DSLR to your computer? You need a capture card. Now, there are some ways to connect your camera to your computer over USB, but they vary from camera to camera to camera. What does not vary is if you have a capture card, you can connect your camera to your computer and it sees your camera as a webcam. That's what the beauty of a capture card. Now, Elgato has a really great capture card. It's about 100 and something bucks. But then there are some other capture cards available on Amazon. Some of them are like $30 for a 2-pack. It's really great. Now, they are good capture cards, but some of them overheat. I've seen some different weird things happening from them, but they're cheap enough to where it's like, just buy another and keep moving. A good friend of mine said you can either do it right or you can do it again. And so there are some that, subscribe to the school of thought that it's very expensive to live cheap. So if you want to make the investment, you want to buy it right the first time, then getting that Elgato 4K capture card is the one. And I'll make sure that we have some of these links available for you. Let's see here. What else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about some lighting. This is a Godox. This is a Godox stream light. Actually, this is Godox's foray into streaming lights. Really good light. Good clean base for light. The light that is right above my head right now is also a Godox. It's the SL60, but it is not the stream light. It's not an LED panel. It's an actual. It has a softbox on it. Has a newer softbox on it with a grid on it as well as a diffuser to be really direct the light onto me. So I don't want the light going to the background. I want the light on me. And then that kind of gives me a little shadow on this side of my face, whereas the light's coming in really nice on this side of my face. So again, framing up your shot, setting that thing up the way that you want it. I'm gonna move a little quicker. Let's move to the next scene here. What do we have? What do we have for the next scene? Here's my desktop. I'm going to show you a couple of things here. First, I want to show you my speaker site. This has nothing to do with the show and tell, but it's still show and tell, right? So I'm giving you everything. What I wanted to show you on my speaker page is that look at that. Look at the flyer that's on my speaker page. Huh? That's the one from this conference. And then this was something that I spoke at last night. After we finished last night, I had to speak for something else. Can you imagine? This is a crazy world we live in. And this was something that was last week. So if this website has been on the screen for pretty much all of my presentations, kirknugentspeaks.com. And so that's where we're doing that. This is the How It All Works page, howitallworks.com. It always has our latest video, the giveaway tool. If you're not aware, StreamYard has made the giveaway tool available. And it's really a great tool for engagement. Check out that video. I talk about what you need to do to get it set up. I show you all the different things, really cool stuff. This is the latest show that we did on Monday. This is the midweek huddle we did with Bryant Taylor and David Hunt yesterday at midday yesterday. So listen, man, going live is my life almost. And this is composition. This is the brand under which this is my wife's company where I work for her. Pray for me, saints. But this is composition. Yourcomposition.com is the website. Creativity and quality composed. My wife's name is Kanique with a K. I'm Kirk. Our kids are Carson and Kenzie, all with K's. We had to have the second child, so we didn't have 3 Ks. Somebody's going to get that later. But we decided to brand the K and decided to, the word composition spelled, of course, with a C. We wanted to spell it with a K. And this is where we do web design, live video strategy. That's us. So absolutely check us out. Anybody familiar with this screen here? I'm looking in the chat. This is the screen here. There's a blue bar right across the top. You guys, let me give you one little quick tip here. Don't ignore these messages. Don't ignore them. This is StreamYard trying to help you. They're trying to help somebody. Facebook Groups is currently experiencing an issue that is causing some streams to be cut off. Let me be clear. It's not some streams. StreamYard's being kind. It's all streams. So Facebook Groups right now is having an issue, not StreamYard, not Restream, not Ecamm. Facebook Groups is having an issue and it's causing streams to be cut off. This banner is very useful, but some of you are familiar with this. Let me see here. Let me see. Let me look over. Yes. Ah, good. We got comments coming through. I'm going to just go into StreamYard real quick and show you a couple of things in here. All right. I'm giving it some time to catch up to me. I don't know. Let's see. All right. So now I'm in the studio. This is the brand tab. This is the brand that I'm under right now is the How It All Works brand. If you go to banners, you can see different things that you can put on the screen. Intro video, in one sentence, what is public speaking? This is what we do with banners under brand. You've got the theme. And so you pick your color here. You pick your color here, right? You got to find out what the color is in whatever graphic design platform or product that you use, whether it's Photopea, which is free, Canva, which I love, absolutely love. And what's the other one? Oh, of course, Photoshop. How can I forget for Photoshop? Overlay section, you can put your overlays in. This is a full screen flyer. This is also a full screen flyer that you can put in, but you can also do overlays that are transparent. So if I put one of my camera on screen, let's get all your avatars started here. If I put my camera on screen, I can put this over it, or I can put this over it, or I can put this over, and you can see that you can see what the camera is showing, but the overlays are not taking up the entire screen, right? So just the names here are visible. Let me put two of them up there for it to make a little bit more sense. So you see what this overlay looks like. These two are sitting right at the bottom corner, what we call the lower third, for these two videos to be seen. This is one I would put up in case I'm going to put something on the bottom of the screen. It still has the two lower thirds there, and you see what that is looking like every time I switch between them. Everybody's with me so far? Nobody, we haven't left anybody behind, huh? Are the transparent overlays available in Canva to design? You design your overlays, and then when you're ready to export them, you export them as transparent. We're going to go into Canva next. That's like 2 tabs over. So we're going to get there. I want to show you, because this is mostly the stuff I'm showing here is for my show. I'm going to switch to my church. This is my church. This is what our church stream looks like here in Huntsville, Alabama, the Bridge. We have virtual church every Saturday, 12:30 Central Standard Time. It's 1:30 for most of you guys on the East Coast. Your church is probably done, so come and check us out. And so this is what the screen looks like. You see behind the 2 squares that there are frames, right? Is everybody seeing that? How did I get those frames around the two video feeds? Well, those are built into the background. So when I take the 2 cameras off, you see that the background has the 2 squares on them. If I switch to the other background that doesn't have the 2 squares, you'll see that that's what it looks like, right? So that's what it looks like without the squares. That's what it looks like with the squares, without the squares, with the squares. These are design hacks that you can do. Just design your background in a way. What I tell people all the time, take a screenshot of StreamYard, right? Take a screenshot of StreamYard with the design, with your cameras where you want them, and then design behind it, and then delete the screenshot and then export your design as your background. So this is what without the squares, this is with the squares. If I had just one person on screen, you'll see that it takes up the whole screen, right? And so the background is not really that important at that stage. What is important, however, is your overlay. And so this is Pastor Green's overlay. See how that looks? The camera viewable area is right here. This is the viewable area. All of this is what I've designed in Canva. And then we cut this part out, allowing him to be seen through the overlay. And so this has his name, it's got the bridge. And so when he's preaching, this is what it looks like. I hope that makes sense. I'm watching to see, we almost gave up on StreamYard. It wouldn't play nice with our music vids, but there are now much improved. Yes, StreamYard has improved their audio. Both StreamYard and Restream have done some really good updates for their platforms. Here's what I want to show you real quick. If you are playing music into your live stream on StreamYard, this should be unchecked, and this should be checked. This should be unchecked. Echo cancellation should be unchecked. Stereo audio should be checked. And here's another little hack about StreamYard, and we're going to move on to Restream. That is hovering over any one of these little question marks is going to give you all the information you need to know. And because you guys can read, I'm not going to read it to you. When you go back into StreamYard for yourself, go and hover over those question marks, and this will save your life. I'm telling you, this one video that I put up on YouTube about this one very thing has the most views on my channel, and I get a lot of messages, especially from houses of faith, faith-based entities saying, man, you saved us because we were about to throw the whole thing out. It sounded like trash. Uncheck echo cancellation, turn on stereo audio. When you turn on stereo audio, you've increased your pipe to 256. When you don't have stereo audio, it's a very small pipe. So you're trying to jam all that audio, drums, bass player, keys, lead guitar, vocalist. You're trying to cram all that audio into that smaller pipe. Make sure stereo audio is checked. That's going to increase what you can send into the system. That is StreamYard. Here's Restream. And for some of you, Restream, you use it with Zoom. Some of you use Restream with Ecamm. Some of you use Restream with OBS. Some people use Restream with all kinds of things as a distribution point for all of your different platforms. Restream also has a live studio. I see Nikenji's there. Me and Nikenji went over Restream Studio some months ago. And yeah, Restream is a great platform, very similar to Restream's live studio is a really great platform. Here's a quick note. Steve Wood says we use Restream. Here's a quick note. Restream has literally this week opened up a Facebook group on Facebook. If you are a Restream subscriber, get in the group and start giving them feedback, start engaging. This is a complaint that I've had about Restream for a very long time. I'm very glad to see that they have listened and they are now creating an avenue for users, for their customers to speak directly to them. So definitely look into Restream, get on Facebook, get in that group. Restream is kind of different. So your chat is here. You've got captions. This is what we would have called banners in the other in StreamYard. Graphics is here. Same thing. You can change your color to whatever your brand color is. And then you can turn on default graphics. I currently have that turned off, and you'll see I have some backgrounds here as well. Here's the background that you guys saw a second ago. The same design that you do for StreamYard is going to work for Restream. Are you seeing, if you see all of these little eyes instead of a question mark, what we had in StreamYard, you're seeing a little eye, and that eye stands for information. You want to hover over that thing. It's going to give you all the information you need. Same setting that we looked at in StreamYard. I want to touch on that here in Restream. You've got your video input, video resolution. Depending on your subscription plan, you may have 1080p. Audio input, you want to go to advanced settings, uncheck echo cancellation, uncheck noise suppression. Make sure stereo audio input is checked. This one is phenomenal. High resolution audio, make sure that that's checked as well. Restream and StreamYard have given users the ability to record individual audio tracks as well. So for all the podcasters out there who are looking to level up that podcast, you want to be able to get individual audio tracks for your podcast. You got to do that stuff. I see vMix. Somebody, Everett Moore says we use vMix, StreamYard, and Zoom. Yeah, Everett, man, listen. Get it. You got to get it done. Whatever you got to do to get it done. And so this is Restream. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here. Very similar to StreamYard Studio. Here is Canva. Just pausing. Anybody remember these slides? These are my slides for the presentation. This was my slide. This was my slide. This was my slide. This was my slide. And this open space here is where my video was. And so what I do is I export all these pages 1 through 10 as a PDF. So I'm going to show you that real quick. I click on this download button here. It says PNG. That's what suggests. I'm actually going to change that to PDF. Select the ones that I want, which is 1 through 10, so that it's easier just to uncheck these others. And then I click done. and download pages 1 through 10 PDF. I download that PDF, put that into Ecamm. And then the next thing that I do is I grab my overlay. So this right here is the overlay that I use to be able to bring my camera on top of the PDF, which was my presentation. I see. I'm just checking the chat. I'm always checking the chat to make sure that I'm in good shape. I'm behind my time, but I'm hoping that you're getting some value here. So this what you do to be able to export this as transparent, because you want this whole black part to be transparent. So you would click on download. This is page 11. So we'd select page 11. There's page 11. And then we simply check this box here that says transparent background. Bam, transparent background. Once I click that and hit the download button, that whole slide, or yeah, that page in Canva, in the Canva design, is going to come down as with a transparent background. And then you use preview to cut out the green part. And that's the part that I would be able to be seen on. So hopefully that is not too quick, but I'm going to build a scene with you in a second. Look, there's the scene that we're on right now. Look at that. There you're seeing the scene that we're on right now. Here is the other presentation that I did. This is Who is a Minister. So all I had to do is just keep changing these files here, because I knew I was going to put myself in this section. And here are the pictures from the last 2 days. See, this is why we did this one last. I wanted you to kind of get a chance to experience it first, and then see how the sausage is made. Well, I guess we don't eat sausage. See how the links are made, or what Big Franks are made. Maybe Big Franks. Jimmy says, I live by Canva. The Kenji says, Canva saves lives. Yes. We use Wirecast for streaming, but we're thinking about using StreamYard for an upgrade. I don't know that it would be an upgrade, but it's a different tool in your toolbox for a different thing. So here's the design for starting to hear myself for some reason. But yeah, so here's the design for the actual cutout that I would use for myself. Don't know, maybe I did something. Did I do something? Big Franks, Miguel says. Big Franks. Okay. Yes. Oh, Everett Moore. That's good. Thank you for putting that in the chat. Here is a studio recommendation. One of the things that we do at Composition is we do studio recommendations. You can schedule a consult with us, and we will look at your space, whether in person or online digitally, and we will design a custom recommendation that is specifically for you. One of the reasons why I have stopped just randomly giving out tips and tricks like, oh, buy this, buy that, because people's spaces are different. And depending on your space, you might need something totally different than what I'm designing. So I'm going to show you in a second my entire space, but I just want to kind of give you an idea of what you might be able to get if you were to book a session with us. These are just ideas that we were giving to this current client. They were going to be doing some podcasting. The Rodecaster Pro was recommended. This was for a different client. Some of you might recognize him. But yeah, he's setting up his home studio. And so home studio, totally different scenario, some very different recommendations. So we wanted to show that. Kit.co/Kirk R. Nugent. I'm putting it in the chat right now. This is my gear site, kit.co/Kirk R. Nugent. There it is. It's in the chat right now. So this is my gear site. On this site, I have my office setup, my video production gear, home studio recommendations. There's a video. Actually, no, this is home studio recommendations. And then there's a video attached to this one, home studio hacks. This is a really cool video to watch. So I would recommend just kind of watching that one and seeing all the different iterations of what I'm doing. Not necessarily recommending anything in the video, but I'm just showing you what's possible as you build out different things in your home studios. But yeah, definitely these are some that you could check over the next couple of weeks. I'll be updating it. Some of you know, some of you may not, that this space that I'm in currently is a new space for us, a new space for me, I should say, because this is a new studio. So I want to show you Ecamm real quick. Let's see if we can get that done. So now Are you seeing my screen? I think you are. So this is Ecamm. I showed you Restream. I showed you StreamYard. This is Ecamm. And what you're seeing on the screen is more than just Ecamm. I have some notes here. This is some of my notes that I used for some other stuff that I was doing. This is a Finder window just because I need to be able to pull files back and forth. And I'm going to go to one of the scenes that we did the other day. So this is a presentation 1. So here you're seeing this was the presentation. If you look on the screen here, you'll see that I can actually go back in the PDF document. This is a PDF. So in this overlay screen here, I know it's small, I apologize, but I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about when I say building out a scene. This PDF is right here. If I click on this eye, that PDF goes away and you'll see it's just me in the box right here. And then if I click on this is the frame that's around my camera, you'll see that goes away. Now it's just me by myself on the screen. I'm very lonely. I'm going to put my frame back on and I'm going to put the PDF back behind me, and I can continue to go back through those presentations just using, I mean, this is why I say export it as a PDF, because you can drop a PDF in the background of your scene and you don't have to create 20 scenes for your 20 slides. So that's really cool. And it does still present in a really cool way, a really high quality way. Same concept for this one. This is the PDF in the background. And so as I move through them, I'm still staying in one spot, but the PDF is moving. And you get an idea of what that is. Here's a couple of really great things about Ecamm. Number one, if you go into the wheel here, you'll see under audio that there is mic delay. Some of you are using DSLR cameras with a capture card. And then you have like a USB audio interface, like what BT talked about yesterday, like that Focusrite or M Audio or the Rodecaster Pro or the Zoom, those Zoom devices. If you're using those, then your audio and your video are getting to your computer at different times. And so what happens there is you need to delay the audio. And I've figured out that I need to delay my audio about 6 frames for it to be synced up with my video. And so this is a really great feature about Ecamm, and Ecamm is what I use to delay my audio. I have another application that you can use if you don't want to get Ecamm. That is a one-time purchase. So I'm going to show that in a second. But there's one other thing I want to show you about Ecamm, and that is the virtual camera. Not a whole lot I can actually show you, but the reason why you're seeing me in Zoom right now is because Ecamm has a virtual camera. And so I can take my entire Ecamm production into Zoom as a virtual camera. I can take my entire Ecamm production into StreamYard as a virtual camera. I can take my Ecamm production into anywhere that sees a webcam, which is really cool. And again, you can find multiple uses for that for your own setup. And so, yeah, that's definitely something you want to look into. Here, let's get over to click here. I'm going to show you 2 other things that are great partner platforms for Ecamm or just for streaming in general. And that first one is Loopback. So I'm in the bottom corner over here. Here I am. So the first one, oh no, you're not seeing me at all. I'm still on demo mode. See, this is what's good about being able to check back in Zoom to see what's going on. All right, so this is Loopback. Loopback is a virtual audio board that is software based, right? So I can take any audio input, bring it into Loopback, and send it out a different way. Right now, you're seeing that the audio hijack out mic is what's being used. That's actually the mic I'm using in Zoom right now. And the audio is coming from this Shure MV7 into the system, and then it's delayed and then comes out audio hijack. So I'm not using Ecamm to delay my mic. I'm actually using audio hijack to delay my mic. So I'm going to show you that in a second, but I want to show you a couple other things here as well. Here's a mic that I use for Zoom sometimes. So the mic will always have my microphone in it, Shure MV7, but then I can also add Ecamm, and you can add any number of sources, right? So here's Finder. You can find different ways or reasons to bring Finder in. Let me see something here real quick. Let's see, we got audio hijack. So here's the audio hijack mic. I'm going to add a couple of things to the audio hijack mic. Let's add in Ecamm Live. Why would I want to add Ecamm Live to my mic? Because Ecamm has some sound effects in there, like applause. Are you guys hearing that? No, you don't hear that? Okay, I see you shaking your head, GP. But it also has a DJ horn. Sometimes you might, hey man, sometimes you might need a DJ horn, man. But then I also have some different music in here as well. Here's sometimes when service is wrapping up and winding down, you might want to just play something soft in the background while the pastor is landing the plane. It's not it doesn't interrupt. You have control over it. So you see this slider here, I can bring this down a little, and that controls how people are hearing it. And so again, those people who are in these roles of broadcast engineer, production specialist, whatever you want to call it, we have to be attentive and mindful of what's happening during the service. These are some tools that really help to add some different effects to what we're doing. Another thing we can add here is the Finder. Like I said, we can add Finder. Here's Finder that we've added. And yeah, now I'm thinking if as soon as I click on this, it's gonna go to Finder. So here's Finder, and all I'm gonna do is come back to loop back. I'm always mute. I always uncheck mute when capturing and bring it down a little bit so it's not overbearing. But yeah, I've got some music tracks here. Let's play one of these music tracks. Here's one. You guys can hear that? Yeah. So the idea being even Finder can be used as an input in loopback, and again, really easy to add. You can add them on the fly. Not a whole lot of config that needs to be done. Last application I want to show you before I take you around the room is audio hijack. An audio hijack is what you're seeing on screen right now. Is that right? That's right. So the input device is the Shure MV7. I have this turned off. There are times when I want a little more bass though, right? GP, I can't, we can't all sound like Geston, so we can't all sound like David Hunt. We can't all sound like George, right? So I every now and again, I want a little more bass. So right now I have that turned off, but this is one of the things that I've pulled onto the chain. And then, like I said, 6 frames is what I have delayed in Ecamm, but here I know that it's based on milliseconds, and 240 milliseconds is equal to 6 frames. And so I've delayed my mic by 240 milliseconds, and then I send it to audio hijack out, which is this mic right here. And so that's the full circle, giving you the full loop. Let me see where we are, 12:39. Mercy, not doing too well on time. Let me just show you real quick around the studio. All right, so this is my desk. Of course, this is a video. This is my desk, and this is a screen that's in the corner there. This is another desk. My Pixel book is on the stand over there. I recorded this on Sabbath, so Sharona was singing for the bridge. You see that being done at that other desk over there. I've got a softbox light over there. And then on this desk, I was actually doing another production for Sidney Freeman. So Kenny Anderson was his guest on that program. And so it's kind of doing double duty, if you will, man. One of the reasons why I like to have the 2 stations set up and ready to go is for that reason right there. So I'm looking at my chat to see if there's any questions coming in. Ishmael says, my. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. This is the camera that you're seeing in front of me. This is the A6000, a Sony A6000 with the Sigma 16mm lens. I want to show you from behind, like what does it look like from behind? I've got a webcam back here. Yeah, that's live. That's not, this is live. It's not video anymore. So there's a webcam way up in the corner behind me there, and I have the blackout curtains on the window in front of me. There's a huge window here in front of me. Another door that leads out to the balcony where my old studio was. Some of you remember that. I've got a green screen. It's kind of just sits here in front of the desk, but if I need it, I'll bring it and put it behind me. Screen really just for me to be able to keep my run sheet on another screen that I can just glance at from time to time when I'm running shows. What are the diamonds on the wall? Those are sound panels. Soundproofing for that part. So some of voiceover work that I do it at that desk. And so I like to have something there to kind of deaden the echo in the room. So yeah, but that's what those are. That's what that looks like. Let me switch to another camera. So this camera, these two cameras are connected to a computer over here. One of the things that I did not show you guys is NDI, network device interface. NDI is great. And so I've got NDI, I've got a Mac Mini on this other desk over here, and it is running eCam as well, which also has NDI out. So on that computer, I have those two cameras connected that you're seeing it switch between. And those two cameras are in eCam in two scenes that just count down. I think it's, I don't know, 8 seconds or 10 seconds or something like that. You see it counting down in the corner here. Oh, it's actually 20 seconds. So it stays on each camera for 20 seconds. In eCam, you can actually set it to switch every 20. You can set it for whatever time frame you want. So it really allows you to have a full production setup, even with just one person. So you can see all of that is over there. And now, since we're on that camera, I want to walk over there real quick and say what's up. It's in a different video. I don't know if the production folks in Zoom are going to be able to catch this. All right, so I'm actually at the other desk. And so sometimes I will do my productions from this desk. Sometimes I'll record stuff from this desk. But you'll notice that I had to change my lights. I had to turn on a different set of lights. So the softbox above me, I had to turn on, and let me make sure. Okay, good. You guys are hearing me. And these two lights on the lamp, I had to turn those on as well. Again, just gives me some good light on me. Now, my camera over there is still switching. That's probably the one that you're looking at. But there is another participant in the Zoom room. For those who are wondering, like, where in the world did he go? I'm on another square. I just turned my camera on. It's probably also called Kirk Nugent. So it's a little confusing, but I wanted to give you a view of what this scene looks like. Here I'm on a Sony A7 II camera. Sorry, Sony. Yeah. So Sony A7 II camera, and I'm on a 28-70 lens. So because I wanted this to be a little bit tighter, I didn't want it to be as big, with the 16 millimeter. And you can see that little lamp over there in that corner. You can see the Tesseract over in this corner, and they're both behind me. Of course, I don't usually have the Godox SL70 on 60W on when I'm at this desk, but you get a chance to kind of see what all of this looks like. I'm going to go back over and turn off this microphone. All right. So we're back on this microphone, and you got a chance to see me turn on the lights over there, right? Yeah, those lights are over there. There's 3 lights that I turned on, and I have those connected to. Yeah, I have those connected to a smart plug, so I can just hit the power on that, and it just turns it off. So that gives me some flexibility to be able to kind of set things up the way that I want it. And then we're back to this camera. So now I'm ready for questions. Come on. Let's see these questions. All right, Sony A600 and Sony it's actually the Sony A6000 and the Sony A7 II. So the light above me right here, this light right here, is the Godox SL60W. So it's a 60 watt. So yes, that's what this one is. This other light over here is it's just a softbox, ESDDI softbox. It's in my kit.co/KirkRNugent. It's in that kit. So check that out. Same light I use, 60 watt, Steve Woods. Cool. Also, you did something to dim the lights. All right. So The lights are on. So if you're seeing there's two lights behind me as I kind of shift back and forth. One over this shoulder is a square cube. Kids call it the Tesseract. If you're into the Marvel stuff, you kind of know what that means. And then the one over this shoulder is just an old school lamp. But the one on this shoulder, I have the ability to dim it. Let me see here. That's the stream one. Yep. And so you see that thing's getting brighter and get softer. And you can determine what you want to do in terms of what look and feel and effect you want for your live stream. So that's one piece there, and then there's one directly right beside me, and I always keep that one fairly low because it changes the light on my face. So you see, if I turn that all the way up, you see how bright that gets. And some people may want that, but it's a totally different color light. So you just want to be mindful of how you shift some of those things around. Do we have time for me to show? Oh, here we go. We got some questions. Let's see here. Great studios aren't built overnight. What 3 things should we start with as we work our way to your level? First of all, there's so many different things that are in my studio that are very specific. Yes, it's an app for the light. It's a Philips Hue. Those are Philips Hue bulbs, Kevin. There's so many things that are in my studio that are very specific. For this stream desk, camera and lens that you're looking at right now, I don't move these ever. The other cameras I set up just because I want to be able to show you guys what's happening in this space. So for the most part, they're in their bags and I can just grab the bag and go when I need to do a shoot somewhere else. But I do a lot of live streaming. And so this desk is set up permanently this way. So you kind of have to get a feel for what is your use case. I always start any consult I do for studios. I always start with the use case scenario. And so I always deter people from the concept of getting to a specific level. I think you want to start with your use case and figure out what's going to make the best sense for you. Do you have a space that you can dedicate to having some stream things set up? And so the thing that I always tell people to start with is audio. If you're using your laptop to begin with, all right, let's start over. If you're using your laptop to begin with, right, just the laptop to get on Zoom or to do your live streaming, if you're on StreamYard, whatever, your webcam is there. Try to get the best you can from the webcam, your onboard webcam from your laptop. So that's one. Try to get the best that you can from the onboard audio as well. And even if it's just a matter of bringing some headphones that have a microphone right here, that's going to be better than using the onboard microphone that's on your laptop. So that's one way to just kind of easily gradually ease into upgrading. The first thing that I always tell people, if you're streaming from a laptop, is to get a stand. Get a stand. I mean, that is, let me see if I can find it. That the stand is just, oh man, it's just so critical because it really helps to give you the line of sight with your, yeah. So there's the stand on screen there. Gives you line of sight with your camera. So this is a stand. This is $20. Put your laptop on that stand. To me, that's your first purchase. Get your laptop at a level that you can be in with direct line of sight. So you're not using books or anything like that. This is a stand that you have. I have a couple of them around the house that I use, and it really helps to get you good eye level with your camera. So start there. And if then from there, now you can start saying, okay, I need to start adding some external items. So I might want to add a microphone. I might want to add a yeah, it's so long. Bye ghetto stands. Listen, the books work, but I'm saying if you're going to be doing this, if this is something you want to invest in, if you're looking to make a purchase, it's a $20 stand, family. It's not just good for doing live streaming. It's actually a really good stand just to work on your laptop. So I would highly recommend that. There's a lot of schools of thought where the mic is concerned. So I have mine on an arm. It's a Rode PSA 1 arm. Not really certain that listen, that's personal preference. Personal preference. Can a list be provided of the items? Crystal, I kind of touched on this a little earlier. And so the answer is if you want to look at some of the lists that I've created on kit.co/Kirk-R-Nugent, you're welcome to do that. But I always hesitate to just kind of dump a list of things to buy on people, because your use case scenario is going to determine what the best thing is to do. So kit.co/Kirk-R-Nugent, definitely go ahead and check that out if you want, and see some of the things that are there. And maybe one or two of them might be things that you would want to purchase. But I definitely would recommend, starting from the bottom. I think George said in his presentation, you got to start with the plan. What's the plan? He was talking about the network, but it's the same thing when you're building out a studio. What is your overall goal, where you see yourself going, and let that inform what your purchases are, what's first, what's second, what's third, what is non-negotiable. I mean, for some people, you need to look at your house and figure out, where can I go? I was in the storage unit, which is just on the other side of that door, for the better part of the pandemic. Just in the last month, we've repurposed this space, and so this is where we are now. So yeah, just keep that in mind as well. So Mike says, how would you encourage leadership in church, let's say elders, to get some simple things to improve their shot and audio when doing a stream for morning church service? This is a tough question, Mike. And let me tell you why it's a tough question. Because I'm not a big fan of the church service being streamed. So I'll just pause there. The content that's in our church service is not answering a question. It's not vulnerable. It's just a church service. If somebody wants to come, so if you want to level up that, go ahead. I'm just not certain that's, you got to be intentional if you're going to enter the digital space. And by and large, our exploits as churches have not been intentional. So that's the reason why it's a tough question. And I hope that, I'm not trying to offend. I see you shaking your head. So I think you get it. You've received it in the manner in which I was intending it to get across. We've got to be much more intentional about what we're putting out there. Yeah. And so if the elder is answering a question, and he's going to be there every week to answer that same question, to give different iterations of how people can answer that question, then absolutely put the man in front of a great camera and a great. We just took over a room at church and said, Pastor Green, this is your room. So he goes in there, he plugs up the cords to his laptop, and he's live. He's on a Sony A6400, a 16mm lens. We have two softbox lights. One is a key light, one is a hair light. We have a full soundboard in there as well to be able to grab his audio. But that's what we did for him, because we just wanted to settle that for him. We didn't just walk into that room and everything's already set and ready to go. And so, yeah, they're having that conversation really is going to go back to a lot of the things that we touched on in the previous two presentations. Why are you in this space? Who is your avatar? Who is your target audience? Who have you been uniquely called to reach? That's where all of those questions are going to come back to, and how we answer those questions are going to determine what gear we buy, what platforms we employ, what tactics, where are we going to stream to, what time, right, and what format. Yeah. So I think the assumption among Christendom is that people want to see church. I think that's wrong. I think it's wrong. That's for the cultured Christian. It's like, somebody asked me, I did a presentation at another place, and they were asking me, so, once we start getting this following online, how do we get them to church? And I was like, you may never get them to your church. What if they never come to church? How do they see Jesus? Because they see you. I'm just going to leave it there. because they've met you, because they've interacted with you. My channel is not a Christian channel, how it all works. But I think in this space, I can say safely that me and you both know the crux of how it all works is Jesus. That's the binding tie for everything. So if you ever wondered, like, how does it all work? It works because Jesus is in it. And so people will come in contact with the Jesus that's in you. You don't have to put it out there. It doesn't, hey, we're going to have a Bible study. Some of the terminology we use is just throwing people off. Answer a question, family. Y'all gonna get me started. Answer a question, be consistent, be vulnerable. Those y'all gonna be like, oh, that's the guy who says answer a question, be consistent, be vulnerable. I'm good with that. All right, I'm looking in the chat here, trying to see if there's any other questions. I want to show one other thing here. One of the things that you can also do with NDI is that there is a mobile app for your iOS devices and for Android as well that you can switch to. So I have just switched to my iPad, and so you're seeing my desk. I'm trying to talk a little louder because I'm moving away from the microphone. And it is a sit-stand desk, so when I speak for some engagements, I do like to stand up, but having the ability to switch to a mobile device is beneficial as well. So that was just the last piece of show and tell there. Anything else I got to show? No, I think that's it. Logitech MX keys. Logitech MX keys. I'm not familiar with that one. Oh, my bad. You're talking about the keyboard. Yes. I love this keyboard. It does a lot more than just a keyboard. So it's great. Thank you, George. And let me see who else is in. What else? Anybody else, man? We've got like 2 minutes before Latasha comes back on and kicks me off screen, man. So what do we got, man? I'm almost tempted to like go on Facebook and YouTube to see if there's any questions over there. I apologize, Facebook and YouTube. You got to get in the Zoom room, man. I'm not even looking. I'm not even seeing those comments right now, but you got to get in the Zoom room, man. Go ahead and click that link in the description. Jump in here. Excellent information, Natasha. Thank you so much. I'm hoping that something that you saw here would inspire you on your journey. For me, as a YouTuber, content creator, I need to have specific spaces that I can just sit down and record. So this doubles as both a recording space and a live streaming space. But then I also need space where I can work, space for me to do some voiceovers. And yeah, again, one of the things that's great about these kinds of spaces is you can dream about different things. You can kind of just, throw things against the wall and say, let's try this real quick. Let's try that. And get a feel for what you might incorporate into a live stream or a live program. But yeah, absolutely. Once more, it says, why are you not an advocate of live streaming our church services? Donald McKinney, why are you not an advocate of live streaming our church services? I didn't necessarily say I'm not an advocate of live streaming church service, but my question to everyone is you need to answer why you're streaming. Why are you showing your church service? Is there a reason? Because some people, the answer to that question is, my people cannot come to the physical building, so we're streaming it so that they can see it. And that's a valid answer. So you need to stream your church service. Absolutely. By all means, stream your church service. You could also put it in Zoom, keep it private, because it's really not for the broader public. And this is the question that a lot of churches have to answer is, what are we doing in the digital space that's specifically for the broader public and not just for us? So I hope that answers the question. Thank you, Michael. I see you saying, awesome job, Kirk. Thanks for the real talk. Valerie Singleton, your presentations never disappoint. Always learn something new. Thank you. And I want to say thank you to you. Donald McKinney says, thank you. You're welcome, man. I hope that answer, fit the bill. Latasha, let's see, man. I know you're going to come back on screen here any second now. Any second.
I'm here. Awesome presentation. There was one question I kept kind of getting lost in the chat about the background, your LED lights. Any recommendations for that?
Yeah, so on the ground behind me is it's a Meikee, Meikee. They're all in the kit. It's a Meikee 4-pack. It's 25-watt 4-pack set of lights. Let me just show it to you real quick. That's it on screen. That's one of those lights is in the background behind me. Just one. So wow. The 4-pack is a great, I think it's $60-70 for the 4-pack. It's a great purchase because you can use it in different rooms. for you for what you're doing. So that's one thing that I'm using for the lights. The other thing, my room that I'm in here has a fan with 3 lights on it, right? So a fan with 3 lights on it. So one of the things that I've done is take the lights out and put in lights that I can control. So let's go to this. So there you're seeing that I got a little vibranium up there as well. and I can control that to be whatever color I want it to be. So yeah, hopefully that answers the color light question. Yeah.
Very great. Awesome. We love it. This was quite exciting. The perfect way, I think, to wrap up a wonderful experience that we've had with you as one of our presenters, our daily presenters during this CAMCon conference. And we thank you so much for all of the information that you've shared over the last 3 days. And for those who are asking, yes, everything has been recorded, and Tuesday and Wednesday's presentation are already on our website at visitaec.org/CAMCon, so you can check it out there. Today's presentation is going to be made available tomorrow. Of course, we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, so you can even see all of Kirk's presentations on those platforms as well. Thank you so much, Kirk. We appreciate everything that you have shared with us during this time. We wish you the best.
Can I just say one last thing? I just want to say this has been an absolutely phenomenal experience. I want to say a word of thanks to you and your team, to Penny, for all that you guys have done in the background, really making sure that I and other speakers are prepared and ready and have what we need. All the test information, it is phenomenal. And for those that are in the Zoom room, those that are watching online, there's a lot that goes into planning conferences like these. They did it for free 99, as in to you, it was free. There's a lot of value that they were able to add. So definitely want to make sure that you guys are aware of that hard work that's gone in. And I just want to say a word of thanks to the audience as well. You guys have been phenomenal. Even in this digital space, it's been engaging. You humored me by turning your cameras on. I appreciate that. As I get a chance to see you guys laugh and engage and talk and nod your head. It really makes the difference. It has been interesting speaking during the pandemic. So having these kinds of these kind of breakout sessions have been really great. Again, just want to say a word of thanks to the entire AEC crew and for everybody that has been attending CAMCon for the opportunity to present, not once, not twice, but 3 times. It's been amazing. Take care, everybody.
Thank you so much. It's been great, right, guys? I can tell in the chat, and you also agree. We're going to move right along. This ends the afternoon session of CAMCon, but we do, of course, want to do our special drawing. We have had 4 winners already, so this will be our 5th winner. I'm going to ask Penny Rogers, my assistant, to go ahead and bring up our CAMCon wheel, and let's see who our winner is for today. While she's doing that, I do want all of our winners to humor us by just letting us know what you purchased with your B&H gift card, $50 gift card. We want to be able to continue to do this so we can report back. These are all the wonderful things people are doing with their gift cards. We may be able to give more out next year. All right, Penny, go ahead and hit the wheel. Let's see who's our winner for afternoon. Stop. All right, Catherine Walton, you are the winner of a $50 gift card to B&H. All you need to do is send the email address where you'd like to receive this gift card to Penny Rogers at progers@aecsda.com. Awesome. Congratulations, Kat. All right, everyone, we are coming back at 5. This is going to be our opportunity. Anyone who's ever come to a CAMCon knows that we like to interact and talk and ask questions. And so when we come back at 5 o'clock, we're going to have our media team. You're going to get to see some of the guys behind the scenes. They're going to show you some things, but we're also going to have time for you to ask questions, open-ended questions about anything, and be able to share with one another. As we've seen in the chat, there's so many of you out there who have information that others can benefit from. And so this will be our time to come together as a CAMCon family and share what we know so we can strengthen each other. That's what it's all about. We all want to have our hands on the future, and we're doing it together. And then we're going to culminate with our CamCon Awards. This is the opportunity to see the churches who have submitted entries, see where they are excelling. We're going to award them for their excellence in communication. But don't forget, this is also where we're going to vote on our Shark Tank, our CamCon Shark Tank for our small churches who sent in videos. We have those 3 videos ready. We're going to vote live, and the winning church is going to get $250 to put into their resources to enhance their equipment at their local church. So we need you to be here so that you can vote and have your say. All right, everyone. Once again, thank you for joining us for this afternoon session. Please come back at 5 o'clock so we can end this thing together and continue to enrich this experience. All right, let's close with a word of prayer. Father, thank you for everything that we have had the privilege of hearing here today. We are excited, we're motivated, Father, and we ask that you will continue to guide our steps in all the decisions that we make to improve of the equipment that we use to be ministers for you. Thank you for each person in this room and what they will do as we exit. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, everyone, we'll see you back here at 5 o'clock. Take care.
Wondering what is going on, why life seems to be filled with storms. Why can't I forget about my past? Why is the storm seeming to last? When His word says, when your word says that the wind will cease, when He speaks to me, and over the waves of life, settle speak. Lift up your eyes. Lift up your eyes and see. Hey. Salvation and the glory. Lift up your voice and sing. Majesty. Majesty and honor. Worship Him. He is good, worthy to be praised.